Good morning, South High School. This is Mr. Formalo coming back to you once again with Living in FlexMod. We are going live on Monday, students, so make sure that you're prepared and ready to go. And this is some of our last tidbits of information to make sure that we're successful with our transition. I know the first couple days in the first week is going to be a challenge for us, and I know that we'll be able to get through it. I would just want to thank you in advance for everyone's efforts with being collaborative and cooperative and making this pilot a success for our school as we look at transitioning to the 2015-2016 school year. Just some reminders for sure that on the passing periods, I know there's been continuous questions. Just that reminder that passing period is the last 5 minutes of any ending mod for a class, okay? There will not be bells. I was hoping that we would be able to have set up for cleaning bells, but that's going to take up that'll take some time to get set up for next year in particular areas like PE, Tech Ed, Art, Culinary Arts. And just that reminder, I can't express this enough that in Flex Mod, our behaviors in the hallways need to be respectful and that we're committed and we're demonstrating effort in getting to where we need to be. Some of the respect issues that we really need to focus on is making sure that we're utilizing a volume of voice that would be at a conversation level and not interrupting the learning that's happening in the classrooms in the hallways. So just that reminder that not everyone is in passing period at the same time. The countdown TVs will be up and running starting on Monday. That will be what you should use in the hallways to gauge where you need to be. Just that reminder that there aren't any bells. Again, today you will be getting a printed schedule, and the expectation is that you follow that schedule. If you're finding something in that schedule that's not quite right, don't make decisions for yourself. Check with a teacher, check with your counselor, or check with administration to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. If you want to see that schedule electronically, here's the information once again. You go to the district website, you click on the student email, enter in the username and password, and then the same thing for the student information icon. The usernames are a little bit different, but I think we've covered this enough. So just a reminder that you have a couple different ways in which you can look at your schedule. I want to cover the independent PLT. I know there's some confusion or fear of how this really works. And independent PLT, anywhere on your schedule that says study hall, it's your time to take advantage of the learning environments. Now, you may simply choose to visit our commons and remain in the commons for your personal learning time, but you can also take advantage of the other academic resources. We have the math resource in room 231, English language arts resource in room 123, social studies in room 206, and science in 157. And all other departments will have resource time. Every department will have resource. So check with your academic teacher, or check in, or you can check outside their rooms to see that their schedule's posted. Each area will have something posted. So check in to know what might fit with your personal learning time so that you can get into those areas as well. Attendance will, in most cases, be similar to what it has been now with most of our classes, but just remember that there's the different types of attendance that we have going on with the scanners. We have that positive attendance where you're absent until you scan yourself in, and that will be used in the large group instruction, medium group rooms, and most of our resource rooms and the commons for sure. Then we have negative attendance where teachers will be marking you present when you've arrived to class. And then we have the journaling, which will be a newer piece to us that we will be using the journaling as kind of our pass in the hallway. So if I want to scan out and scan it to a different location, that's how we do it. And I'm going to give you an overview of what that looks like, and there will be directions with all the Chromebooks throughout the building as we go. All right, so scanners will be in the large group, medium group rooms as mentioned, and in the resources. And an example of how that's going to work is I'm going to bring up a student, and I want to thank Claire Darling for volunteering her ID to make this work for me. And what I will do is when you get into your attendance, many of you are familiar with seeing this box if you've already been in study hall or if you've scanned into the library with your ID. So the box looks like this, and you would simply scan. Please have your IDs. This is going to make it easier for us. I can't emphasize enough that it's important for us to have our IDs. Have them readily available, not in your wallets. Have them in your pockets. Have them on lanyards. This is going to speed up the process of getting students scanned into their academics and into other locations. So when you scan in, your ID will appear in the box, your picture will show up, and then there will be this information page. Now, in some places you may have an adult who's going to be answering some of these questions for you, and other locations you may not. So it's very clear that we work on this, and we'll get better at it as we go. There are 4 options here now that you have to click, and on the Chromebooks you can just simply touch the screen. So you have, I want to excuse my attendance. Yes, because I haven't scanned in somewhere else. No, because I already did scan in somewhere else and I don't want it to be excused. So the option that, or you're just stopping in for just a second. In most cases, we're going to be looking at this journaling option. So if you have independent PLT, which is study hall, but you're choosing, there's 2 options. One, you go to the study hall and you scan in, but then you decide you want to go to math resource. So you would scan again, this window is going to pop up and you would check journal out. And then when you get to the math resource, you would scan in and then you would click journal in. So now it's closed that loop of attendance. So if you are already in the study hall and you scanned in for your attendance, it's now marked you present, but you want to go somewhere else, you would scan out, journal that information, and when you get to that new location, journal that information. That's how you would close that loop for travel mode. Now, people have asked questions, do I have to go directly to study hall if I'd rather just jump into a resource? And the answer is go, this is your personal learning time, go to the environment for which you need at that time. So rather than going down to the study hall for all your mods, you may go into a resource that's available. It could be math, science, English, social studies, it could be the library, it could be one of the other extracurricular areas or other elective department areas that you want to go and do some work. So in that case, if I have not gone to study hall but it's on my schedule, when I get there, that's where when you scan in, you would click yes, I want this account for my attendance. So for following these options and you're responsible with what you're doing, it's very simple. 2 steps. 1, you scan in. 2, indicate what you need to do, whether you're just journaling because you're in travel mode or you need it to count as your attendance because it's the first place that you've checked in. So we will work with you with this as we get going. I know it may seem a little heavy now, but I think as we focus on this piece, this is good practice for us before we go live next year, and it's going to help us figuring out some of the things we need to do within the program to make it better for next year. All right. So with that being said, folks, I think we're all set and ready to go. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask a teacher. Please don't hesitate to ask your school counselor or stop into the main office and you can speak with me about your questions or concerns. Let's make it a great day. Let's have a great 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure as a school community we're going to learn quite a bit about what it means to live in FlexMod.